Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I missed a week of streaming. I was unfortunately out of the state. But we are back in time for our first of two DLCs, The Foundation. And yes, I'm being overly dramatic. I do apologize. Anyways, SG, you enjoy that second glass you've got going on there. Val, I think I missed it because it happened since the last streams, but happy late birthday again. And how you doing, Isaac and Legend? Boy. Alrighties. So like I said, I was out of the state. My cousin was getting married, so I took the week off to get some stuff set up. Boy, but we are back on a normal schedule, so here we go. I do not know, Isaac. I actually do have that question about why the clocks are at the exact same time on the unanswered questions list. Oh, that little... Can I hit it? I want to break that security camera. Stop looking at me. I don't appreciate you looking at me. Stop it. What are you doing? Yeah, that's right. Look away. Hey, 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 hey. I'm watching you. Alright, so because of the situation with the music glitch at the end of the game, we weren't able to get three collectibles, so I replayed that section, and we are good to go check them out now. Hey there, Art, how you doing? Alright, so first one is an easy one. It's just a photograph that we now have unlocked. And then we have a new case file for the slide projectors. Let's go ahead and knock that out real quick. Delete and save. Alright, so the acquisition date and the containment locations are redacted for some reason. Alright, the object is a blank with a vertical tray. The object creates portals to other realities, essentially. The only slide to successfully produce this effect resulted in the only excursion attempt, something, I don't know, to successfully produce this effect resulted in the capture of the head-drawn entity. Object has not been successfully bound. The para-utilitarian of this object does not require binding. Right there. He admits it, or it's admitted in this document. This object of power is not linked to the board, so you don't need to bind it. But Darling believes all of the objects are linked to the board, so, that is a little anomaly right there. Alright, discovered when the Bureau responded to something. See the AWE case file. Many of the accompanying slides were destroyed. See files on P6 and 7 for details. The entirety of the dump was transported to the Bureau for examination to find additional slides or other altered materials. How's everyone's week been, by the way, before we get on to more of this? Oh my god, dog. Hey, Sammy. Sammy, come here. Come here. I want to give you some scritches. Get over here. Or you can just sit there and stare at me. Oh, god. I honestly wasn't sure which one of these DLCs we wanted to do first, whether Foundation or AWE, but considering the next major game for Remedy we're looking forward to is Alan Wake 2, I figured we'd save that one for last. Alright, and we have our last... Oh, we got two, technically. We got the Endless Grind, and we got the hotline for the board.
My reflection trapped in the darkness of the coffee I nurse. The rain turns the lights of the city into a mosaic on the windows. The day's paper lists all the things wrong in the world.
I'm sorry about that. That was not supposed to delete the goddamn thing. I was trying to mute myself and it closed out of it, so let's restart that.
My reflection trapped in the darkness of the coffee I nurse. The rain turns the lights of the city into a mosaic on the windows. The day's paper lists all the things wrong in the world. The list grows longer by the day. The difference between the morning and the night. Coffee. Whiskey. No other difference. The alarm goes off at 5 a.m. It feels like I just closed my eyes. It's dark. I sit up on the bed in the gloom. I get up, I shower. The driver waits for me downstairs, takes me to the oldest house. An old man stares at me in the car window. It's raining. It's dark. Late at night, he brings me back here. It's not a home, it's a room where I sleep in, waking up just as tired as I was before going to bed. Endless grind.
Anybody else have that feeling sometimes? It's depending on, like, I guess, what type of job you work. But yeah, I definitely have had those states. I'm pretty bad, though, because I don't take, even on the weekends, I do not take days off. To be 100% honest, I'm literally the personality type where any free moment of time I get, I use it to spend to work on something else. Anyways, the future from the board. The hiss is removed, silent from the astral plane. You have proven beaten the not you. We tolerate you very much. Well, thank you. You are prepared, unprepared, for what comes next. We will speak again. Yeah, burnout is in the future / expansion. Good work, Victory Director. Well, the board seems to think they're going to see us in the expansion, aka the DLC, which is what's happening right now. All right, missions. We only have 2.
Fuck, this place is a pain in the ass sometimes.
Bro, I'm standing right here. You're saying, fuck, this place is a pain in the ass. Yeah, no shit. Alright, let's head on over to the hotline chamber and get this going. Yeah, I actually, a couple months back is when I hit a burnout period for myself. But I'm back up and running again. Why did I go this direction? So does anyone else actually just want to work in that sticky note room? I mean, me personally, it'd be very convenient because you have an infinite supply of sticky notes. Woo. Oh, shit, I can fly in here. Alright, just because you pissed me off earlier, go away. The phone is ringing. What's going on, board? What do you need now? Come on.
Even if it was a dream, I feel Darling reached out to me through the hotline. I have a feeling he and Trench won't be the only callers from the beyond.
Nope, not at all. Director, situation crisis. Uh-oh, in the Foundation. We demand your attention, Moxie. Oldest house is in danger. We open the door / tree in maintenance. Hurry, post haste. You got it.
Foundation. That was Auti's vacation spot. We need to check this out.
Abso-freaking-lutely. So even the board referred to that door as the tree, quote-unquote. Screw you. So, okay. I don't think we're ever going to do this project, so I'm not sure if it's really an issue with me discussing it, because there's an idea I had that I don't think is ever going to come to fruition, so I wanted to share it with you all, just for the fun of it. So there was a weekend where I literally went through the entire game and located every single security camera in this place. Okay? So what I was planning on doing is finding out what camera angles we have from the position of the security cameras and essentially create a in-game storyline where somebody was looking through the cameras and was witnessing Jesse's going around and like making reports and stuff. And it's always going to be snapshots from the perspective of these security cameras. But I couldn't find a legitimate reason for the narrative, so I ended up scrapping the idea. Because you gotta be honest, someone's gotta be in that security room. but it'd give you that paranoid feeling, because that was one thing they've never really touched upon, is someone's always watching you everywhere you go. And considering we have that one document, or AWE, where someone is trapped inside the electrical wires, I'm curious if there's, in the Remedy verse, if there's any, like, digital reality. And there's people stuck in there, or some type of storyline that goes along with that. Alright, head down to the Foundation. So instead of just teleporting right down there, I want to go a little bit higher. Research, no, it's going to be here. Blackrock Quarry. Because I don't like teleporting right there next to the tree. It's nice to give it that approach for the dramatic purposes. Oh my gosh. So you're gonna stick to your second glass or get a third one later, SG? And what you celebrating, by the way? Or is it just, it's Wednesday, so that's celebration enough? Whoop. Just because it's Wednesday? I hear ya. But does anyone else try to, like, do fan fictions or think about what kind of stories you would write in this setting? Like, taking what Remedy's already created and trying to write your own unique story inside of it. Because I think that'd be a lot of fun. It's kind of like, if anyone's... I bring it up all the time because it's one of my favorite books. But a never-ending story, there is a lot of opportunity to write your own storylines within the book. Every other chapter basically ends on a pseudo cliffhanger. For example, in the second half of the book, there was a belt that the protagonist, or the Bastion, came across that ended up turning you invisible, for example. And at the end of the chapter, basically, it got left behind at the end of a battle, and a raven grabbed it and dropped it into a tree, I believe. Then it was said that at some point, someone found that artifact, that magical artifact, and that there was an entire adventure that was had because of that, but they always ended on, that's another story that shall be told another time. And this kind of stuff happens all the time throughout the course of the book. And the point is, we, the reader, have to stop and invent that story for ourselves. Because the author's not going to tell it to us. We have to use our own imagination to figure out, oh, what would have happened if some hero found this? So anytime I walk into a plot line like this, I just have that in the back of my head, like, oh, well, there's a story here that was never told. Well, I'll tell it myself. Or how would I tell it myself? Really, camera? Oh my god, what is this camera made out of? Okay. You've never written fan fictions? Like, I've never done it myself either, but I like to imagine what I would do if I was writing some stuff in this setting. I wonder if I can make it all the way over there if I just jumped out right here. Let's not test it. I love how it makes you walk really slowly. Because you're walking, so the entire thing is shifting this direction. So it's literally you fighting against the natural motion of it, which... I don't think that's how physics works here, but whatever. Too bad we don't have Ahti's stuff here. Hey there, Michael Desmond. How's everything going? Yep, we just got started about 20 minutes back. All we've really done is read a couple of the post-game hotline calls, grab the side quest for the Foundation DLC, and we're heading down here to get it going. All right. right.
Dark, quiet, trans-dimensional. This place really suits Ahti.
So the question is, how was this built? And why is the foundation in the quarry threshold? Or is it even in the quarry threshold? Because who knows, this might actually be its own threshold of its own. But it looks like all this stuff is made out of black rock. So if that is the case, then who originally mined all of that and built these foundation pillars?
So that etching is the door. Okay, let's try opening it.
Or did it build itself? Alrighty, here we go. Into the tree. The foundation.
No time for sightseeing. The board said this was an emergency.
There's always time for sightseeing. Just like there's always time for collectibles, Jesse. Don't you dare talk back. Looks like people have not been down here for a while. Research site Gamma.
Looks like no one's been down here in a while.
I just said that. Maybe I've played this too much. I'm not predicting her speech. Actually, SG, I just got a, hold on.
Crystals are kind of pretty. Emily would be having a field day down here.
She absolutely would. So one of my coworkers actually just got me a nice, like, high-end Pinot, and, because my birthday was a couple weeks back, and I haven't had a chance to break it open yet. I'm looking forward to it. I should have brought it home with me today just so I can share a glass with you, but I wasn't thinking about it.
My life's been a strange one. Certainly stranger than I'd like. But this place, it's something else. The floors crawl, the walls slither. It's a shifting pit. On the street, it's just another drab building standing there for anyone to see. But no one does. How did we miss it? Northmore. Acting director Northmore now is on a train from Washington. He'll expect answers, which is why I'm making these tapes. They're evidence that I'm at least trying to understand. Father searched his entire life for something like this, and we find it 1 week after he's buried. He always hated irony. Of course, Father, the great director, Ash, would have been the first man in. And look at me, his bookworm son, the supposed head of research who can't stop his legs from shaking long enough to step over the threshold.
So who's the actor who plays Ash? Hold on, I'm looking this up. Jonathan Harden. I honestly don't know who this actor is. Never heard his name. Either way, we are officially showing off the best boy of this DLC and one of my favorite characters in the game. Even though we never frickin' see him, but whatever.
The Foundation. I only heard of the Foundation when I became head of operations. The very bottom of the oldest house. Director access only. Just the name alone is classified. Zachariah gave me a tour the day I was promoted. Said I should see it for myself, to understand. After that, I snuck down on my own from time to time to keep tabs on the place, and on them. But nothing ever changed down there. Not even the walls. It's solid, permanent, different from the rest of the house. Of course, they were always watching me. I never stayed long. I'm not stupid. I have to stop the hiss from finding this place. I'm the only one who can. Bottom of the oldest house. Stop the hiss.
Marshall? How is she on the hotline? Unless she's dead. Jesus. She seemed like the kind of woman who could survive anything.
Well, as we've seen, you can call through the hotline without being dead, necessarily. I mean, Trench definitely was, but the board calls us, and they're not deceased. Darling called us, and he's not deceased. And we have something poking through the rock right there. I'll probably check out the actor, some of his live-action stuff. I'm just curious to see him in action and not just a voice. Oh, we got some bats up there.
So the hiss found their way down here too, huh?
Alright, let's go ahead and switch this over. Let's just play with Pierce for a little bit. But we do... Actually, we're out of that stuff we don't need anymore. Let me know if you guys can hear the fan in the background. It's getting warm since we're moving into summer pretty quick, so I have my ceiling fan on. But if you hear it, I'll shut it or turn it down a little bit. Can't stick around too much tonight. Gotta catch the streams another time. Hey, no worries. I'll have the VODs uploaded tomorrow morning. Actually, pretty much right after the end of it. But you can catch up then. But yeah, I'll see you around. We'll be doing another stream Friday evening about 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. I love how he kicks him while I punch him in the face. Nice tag team, buddy. Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to high-five you. I didn't mean to punch you in the gut. Anyways. And he's gone. Take it easy, dude. Let me see. Where is... Huh. I thought one of the documents was right there. Maybe it's a little further up. So yeah, this place, we basically have what looks like pieces of the astral plane leaking out into this foundation. We have this weird-ass red sand everywhere. And what's down there, it looks like more of the astral plane. Because that's normal. Then again, now that I'm thinking about it, the freaking research sector, if you look straight up, has that kind of white glow to it, so who knows? His research nodes. Yeah, no, I don't want to do any of those side quests. Thank you, though, game. Oh, the power of Polaris compels you. Yeah, the foundation just visually is so freaking cool to look at. Alright, cave paintings. Written by Dr. Theodore Ash, head of research. My boy. Oh yeah, and the first of the Ash logs does show that Northmore was selected by Washington originally before he came here to the oldest house. And it basically starts telling the story of how he got hired on in the first place. So it wasn't like he was like Trench or just they got selected by the board to be director. It's literally just the Washington establishment and basically appointed him as the head of this government facility or government agency. At first, I thought the cave paintings in the Foundation chronicled ancient humans encountered with natural occurrences like weather, but it soon became clear they depicted events far outside the average human experience. Also, it seems I was wrong to assume the images are ancient. Radiocarbon dating suggests something impossible, that I have been down here longer than the paintings. That's absurd, though. The style and medium clearly indicate a Paleolithic origin. I was ready to conclude that an ancient community of humans lived in or around the oldest house. Now, with this information, I don't know what to think. Is one of our agents drawing these, or is there someone else down here with us? This place has a habit of skewing my results, so perhaps the data is corrupted, or perhaps some paintings were created at different points in time. The art does seem to chronicle not only past, but also the future and possible. Wow, I can't talk. The art does seem to chronicle not only the past, but also the present and possibly the future. I see in them echoes of the board, some linear architecture, even what could be interpreted as a director. Are the paintings telling us a story that's still being written? If so, who is writing it? So in this one right here, you have a bunch of humanoid-looking figures. And then you see the pyramid right there at the top right here. And they're all standing around the pyramid as if they're giving some sort of reverence to it. As if it's some sort of higher being. However, according to all the radiocarbon dating on this, these were put up after the Bureau found the place. And if he mentions the Paleolithic era, I think that's like 10 million years ago. Hold on. Let me double check, but I think that's 10 million years back. So the Paleolithic era is from approximately 2.6 million years ago to about 10,000 years ago. So these could range anywhere between 10,000 to 2.5 million years old, if those readings are accurate. But the data says these came in very recently, and that makes no sense. Did that dude just cartwheel back there?
Are using pickaxes now?
Hey, I guess. So the people... I mean, were there any actual people down here? Well, I know the answer to that, but... No, there are not actual people down here. So how the hell did you always get stuck inside here? These are not taken. But they're close enough, Jesus. I mean, all the Taken were carrying, like, chainsaws and crap. Oh, yeah, we just got... That's the new collectible. Let's pick it up and read that real quick. Real quack? What am I saying? Guys, I don't know what's going on with my speech tonight. I am not talking well. Alright, the Hiss sharpened agents display the para-utilitarian nature, ability to rapidly move short distances. This ability is unique in the fact that it's not associated with any known object of power. That's not true! That's definitely not true. The carousel horse has an object of power that allows you to rapidly move short distances. That's literally what it is. And you're saying it's not associated with any known objects of power? Who wrote this? Emily, love you, lady. You messed up. That's wrong. Moving onwards. However, we should not discount the possibility that this ability is an object variation. For example, abrupt physical relocation, APR, could potentially be a variant of the jukebox's effect. Other explanation of his sharpened abilities include momentary time manipulation, brief increase in physical speed, or the inhibiting of witnesses' sense of sight. If we do accept that his sharpened ability is not connected to a known object of power, then the Hiss are either manifesting unique paranatural abilities, or there are objects in the house that we are not aware of. So maybe Emily just doesn't know about this one. Who knows? Either way, the Hiss are continuing to develop new strains of corruption that is cause for concern. Okay, moving back up. Rapidly move a short distance. The object is capable of moving short distances at high speeds. It's literally the exact same wording. So I'm just going to make it headcanon that Emily doesn't know about that particular object of power. And leave it at that. Actually, I think I'm gonna want to use the shatter in this area because those guys are up close and personal fighters. Actually, I don't think I can go this direction yet. No, I cannot. No yawning allowed. This is a yawning-free zone. There, pop my neck right there. Foundation accident. Alright, and I just want to point this out, even though it's probably nothing, but the person who wrote this is an H. Wilder. And the only other Wilder we know is Beth from Quantum Break. But hey, probably nothing. Mr. Wilder, I have some bad news. You remember the Robert Ricardo fellow we brought in as a special consultant to map the lower caves? Well, today he found a chamber with weird eyes covering every inch of the walls and a strange black pillar at the center. Kind of looks like the one at the crossroads, but smaller. We had a bureau member shadowing him, but whatever happened in there did a number on our guests. The docs are taking a look, but it's pretty clear Mr. Adventure's exploring days are over. I know we were careful to limit this guy's exposure to non-ordinary, drugging him and carrying him through the upper floors. It was a real hoot, by the way, but we really need to reevaluate our policies on external contractors. Honestly, we'd be better off forming a special division training in repelling and orienteering than subjecting more outsiders to this shit we see. They almost always end up dead or loony. Hold on, I think I missed something. I think I missed a collectible. Give me a second to backtrack. So I have a note here about one document. All it says it's in the cave system, and it's located at a rock outcrop, which doesn't mean anything to me. Let me check this room down here real fast before we head onward, and I'll figure it out later. Well, the reason that they had this pickaxe, oh there it is, this pickaxe enemy type was because the gameplay designers realized that no one was really using the shield ability throughout the course of the main game, and they wanted to have an enemy type that required you to use it. So what they did is, one, create enemies that get up close with you, and two, created the dash ability, because this dash wasn't in the original version of the game. That only showed up during this DLC. So this entire ability is literally just to incentivize the player to use the shield, and then they created these enemy types as an opportunity to use that skill. And it kind of worked, to be 100% honest. Alright, there we go, we found it. Tom, you missed the good news. I'm sure the official memo will go out soon, but Northmore called on all hands on deck. God. I want to apologize again. I cannot speak tonight. Northmore called on all hands at the crossroads to announce we're finally moving out of his hellhole and up into the house proper. Bureau brass apparently solved the moving walls problem, or at least figured out a way to pinpoint when and where they will happen. So, remember, the control points up on the main level are what stops the house shifts from happening chaotically. So, kind of occupying that building space was very dangerous before a certain point, but now that they got it stabled, aka figured out the control point situation, they're now able to move up there. This gives us a bit of history through Oldest House, or the FPC at this point, because, hey, they were stuck down here in the Foundation because they could not go upstairs. Alright. All I know is going up means goodbye darkness, goodbye weird lunches with that ex-Nazi scientist, and goodbye pissing into the pit. I know that was you, Barry. Northmore's ordering the Foundation sealed as soon as we can haul our stuff out and somehow convince Ash to come with us. He's the only one kicking up a fuss. This is long overdue. We've lost 11 men and damn near $10,000 in supplies moving between the entrance and the Foundation. And for what? Research? Ash is batty if he thinks we want to stay down here and sift through more sand for him. It's just rusted iron flakes anyways. Did you know that? We were breathing that shit in. So Ash, Dr. Ash, wants to stay down here. Even after they're given orders to leave. Apparently he thought there was something down here that's worth looking into. There we go. Yum bum bum. Yum bum bum. Alright. Oh, that's bright. That's bright. Let's not look at that.
The astral plane is cutting into our dimension. What if this happens in the upper floors? It'll destroy the Bureau.
Yeah, this isn't good. This is kind of bad. This is the opposite of good. And so we actually have two enemy types right here. We have the Hiss, and we have these astral copies. And it looks like the guy has a rebar sticking out of his back for some reason. So why are astral entities attacking us here? With the astral plane now physically accessible, a torrent of new information has been collected on the entities known as astral copies. The copies' bodies are composed of a dense stone-like material that is both resilient under controlled circumstances and brittle when struck with significant force. Whether the astral copies possess individual consciousness or are directed by a higher intelligence such as the board remains unknown. However, their shared... What are you doing, dog? You're knocking stuff over. However, their shared aggression seems to indicate a unified goal. Director Faden's encounters with these entities when binding the objects of power in the astral plane indicate they serve as live targets for potential para-utilitarians to practice on. Some have been equipped with Bureau weaponry, though it seems unlikely they were armed by our personnel. It is important to note that they appear immune to the Hiss corruption. That is a very important point. And I don't think there's any relation to this, but there is only one other thing we've seen have a natural immunity to the Hiss corruption, and that's Ati. Not saying he's an astral entity like this, but it's interesting. Now, I've always been curious if this material here, this stone-like material, is physically the material these astral copies are made out of. But we never get any information on that. Because throughout the course of the rituals of the game, it's basically understood that these things are following the direction of the board, and they use them for us to practice our new...
I wish I'd brought Emily with me. I could really use my head of research right about now.
Oh, hi there, Polaris. But they use it specifically for us to test out our new abilities on. And pay attention to that line of dialogue. I really wish Emily was here right now. I could use my head of research. Then Polaris shows up and says something, and then vanishes. Them being puppets is a point to them being immune to the Hiss. Like, I'm curious what specifically about them gives them immunity.
Marshall? Marshall! You're alive!
I mean, as we see further and further...
It's Jesse! The director!
Like, we'll talk more and more about these astral entities as we continue through the Foundation, because we talk about them quite a bit throughout the course of the game. Or the DLC. But anyways, let's head on into the crossroads. What are you doing, Jesse? Just jump.
Whoa.
Just stand there.
This place is huge. Marshall? Can you hear me? She was on the hotline, so that person couldn't have been Marshall, right? One problem at a time. Let's see what's going on with that pillar first.
got ourselves a teleport point. This place is fucking weird, but before we go look at that pillar, let's go ahead and grab a few extra things. There are a series of documents all over this area. Shit, I'm sorry. I broke it. Oh, I did it again. Oh, I did it again. I'm sorry.
It's been 5 days since we first entered the building. Traversing the interior is dangerous due to the shifting, but we did manage to find a lower cavern that seems structurally predictable, which is a scientific way of saying its walls won't crush us in our sleep. Northmore even made a discovery. A pistol, placed on a stone pedestal in front of that strange ebony pillar. Seems like something out of a storybook, except the heroes usually find swords, not handguns. But it is the perfect lure for someone like him. Hours after finding this weapon, Northmore cornered me to spout some nonsense about how the board had made him the director. He ranted about the title being meaningless before now, calling Father and all other previous directors shams, frauds, and worse. I think this place is worse for Northmore than it is for me. Strangest thing? There was no pedestal in front of that pillar a day ago. This building has swallowed a dozen of my men, and now it's handing out presents? Is it playing some sort of game? If it is, we're most certainly losing. Hell, we don't even know the rules.
I was actually just going to mention that, Art. So let's go back to the case files and look at the service weapon. So obviously this service weapon is what Ash is talking about there. And they do mention that this may be, that the popular hypothesis is that the service weapon has many forms throughout history, namely Mjolnir, Excalibur, and Vera Nostra. So in the story, again, in the Arthurian legends, the Lady of the Lake, aka I believe the name is Nimue, gifted Excalibur to Arthur. Very much like the board just gifted the service weapon to Director Northmore. And if these objects are essentially the exact same thing, that the service weapon takes the form of a gun now, but at one point in time it took the form of Excalibur, then that would imply either A, the entity that is claimed itself to be the Lady of the Lake is the same thing as the entity that calls itself the board, or B, the board took a similar story and a similar act of gifting weaponry and use that narrative in order to influence Northmore by giving him this weapon. Or C, it's completely unrelated, but it's a literary similarity. Ati is Merlin, possibly. I don't think it would be Merlin to be the right, well, who knows? Only because none of the directors before Jesse actually listened to anything Ati had to say. But if we want to make comparisons, for right now, Jesse's seeing Ati as the mysterious, the wise old man figure, possibly. Only downside is we don't get any information out of him. Hey there, Draco! Yeah, so the only thing you missed is we got a call from the board telling us that the Foundation's in trouble. We went down to the Foundation, went through the tree door, found that the astral plane is leaking into the place, and we just caught ourselves in the crossroads at a pillar. That's really about it. That's actually a good question, Art. Do we think that Ati had different forms throughout history? Or did he always appear as a janitor? Like, if the oldest house can change its form, then why can't its keeper? Who knows? Alright. For all my research into the oldest house's ley lines, I still don't understand why they converge here at the base of this pillar. I suppose the simplest reason is that they have to converge somewhere. Occam's razor and all that, but that seems wrong. The esoteric world abhors coincidence. So, what is the true relationship between this pillar and the ley lines? Does it act like a magnet, attracting them? Polar star, or polar north. Again, polar north, that's going to be... never mind. I'm wrong. I'm not going to say that. Or is the pillar a product of their focused energies? A sprout nourished by the constant flow of the oldest house's power. Perhaps classifying that power would provide some insight. However, we currently have no means of measuring or quantifying it. Given time, it may become possible to collect and even harness this energy. On that note, Northmore is bringing in the much-lauded Dr. Gustav Wagner from headquarters to DC to aid my research. I suppose this is the way of saying he doesn't trust me to work unsupervised. Let's just hope that Dr. Wagner is as smart as his dearly departed Führer once believed him to be. So this is another character. This is the former Nazi scientist that I believe it was, what, Project Paperclip? Hold on. Let me just double check. I think it's Paperclip. Yeah, so Operation Paperclip, real world history here is basically when we, after the end of World War II, the U.S. hired former Nazi scientists to work for the U.S. For the U.S. government in mostly scientific capacities. They essentially didn't want to let their expertise go to waste in terms of their scientific knowledge. So it seems like that's what Dr. Gustav Wagner's here is through Operation Paperclip. Anyways, moving onwards. Foundation Pillar. Absolutely, Matt. I love... See, that's one thing I love about how they did the narrative documents in this game is you have to refer back and forth between them. Because you can't just read one and it gives you a self-contained piece of lore. All the documents kind of like interweave with one another to give you a bigger picture. One of these days I'm just going to print all these out and keep a notebook of them on my desk. Anyways, the pillar found in the crossroads is best described as an onyx spike that protrudes from the cave floor like an imposing stalagmite. Despite its aggressive silhouette, the structure has been undeniable allure. Freud would certainly have something to say about the pillar's overly erect nature, but I'm more drawn to Whitmore's essay on dynamic layers, structures within structures, the fractal mirror in every being. Given its significant location, I believe the pillar is either the very heart of the oldest house or an intrusion within that heart. Or perhaps it is like a husk of a seed from which the oldest house sprouted. Trottier wrote that great architecture isn't built, it grows. But then why does the pillar look so different from the rest of this place's concrete walls and rocky caverns? It's easier to see this as an anomaly, a buried artifact, a foreign body, a demonic phallus. I wonder if this pillar's any more welcoming here than we are. 1 second. I'm going to turn the fan down a little bit. Alright, there he goes. Hey there. Got the pets taken care of, SG? All good. Hey, question for all of you. Yeah, does the sand in the foundation look almost like the red kids' clay with glitter in them, or is it just me? So, according to some of the documents, this is mostly just iron flakes, is what's turning this stuff red, but I don't even know if... Is iron flakes actually red? Hold on. Like, I just honestly don't know. I've never thought about it until literally just now. Sodium sulfide. Sodium sulfide. Iron. Alright, I'm looking it up right now. So technically it does have like that clayish look to it. But it's iron too. It's a specific compound of iron. It's not the pure iron. Anyways. Moving onwards. Before we talk to the pillar, let's go ahead and get ourselves a hidden location and one more document. Unacceptable behavior memo. To all Foundation personnel, this is from the desk of Director Northmore. It has come to my attention that members of our exploration team have been relieving themselves of their God-given liquids in the chasm of the Foundation. As per earlier orders, all personnel currently serving in the Foundation must expel fluids, urinate, do their business exclusively in the correctly colored and labeled vials provided by research personnel. To do otherwise disrupts the ongoing study of the Foundation and demonstrates a profound disrespect not only for the board and its oldest house, but also for the Bureau you so proudly serve. If I discover firsthand any agents treating the Oblivion as their personal lavatory, they'll be forced to go down there and personally clean up their mess. Signed, Director Broderick Northmore. Just from this, we can see exactly how Northmore sees things. The house belongs to the board, and they are guests and must show respect to them. Okay, give me a second. I need to save. Long story short, he has fully bought into the bullshit. Oh, look, we have a treasure chest. Look! It's a freaking trap. This room is such a freaking troll. They literally put a mimic in here. Screw you, game. I don't know if Jesse should tell everyone, yeah, just piss down here. It's perfectly fine. I mean, what the hell is down here? It just goes on and on into nothing. So one thing I want to throw out there as something to keep in mind to contextualize a lot of what we're seeing here, or actually it's more of a question. Have we ever seen the board directly exert force on any FBC agent or anything throughout the course of the story? I mean, at all. They can tell us to do things, for sure. They can inform Northmore to tell the Bureau to do things, that's for sure. But have they personally themselves ever actually exerted any form of force? I haven't seen it, but I could be wrong. The nail door monolith is hurt. Touch, revere it to enter. Yeah, we must revere it. AKA a form of ritualistic worship. Repair the nail link to prevent astral consumption in the collision. The director's duty / plot of the DLC. Authorized use for single new tool upgrade. Use it to save the Foundation, us, the Bureau. Left, right weapon. Only one is permitted, so you can only get one of these. Which one will you choose? Become.
So I can only choose one? I thought I was done with these tests.
I know exactly which one we're going to do first, Isaac. I already have my collectible list in a certain order, so we're going to do things in a certain way. Yeah, and the former's technically not part of the board. He was kicked out and therefore made manifest. But then again, we don't know what the board looks like when they're not part of the pyramid. But anyways, anyone else enjoy how the pyramid just kind of like has this little thing here that it locks into? Geometrically speaking. My first playthrough, I went this way first, but this one I'm going to go right first. Left self will grant shape / manipulate. In a certain way of looking at it, these two options are creation and destruction. Two sides of the same coin. Life and death. To build, to tear down. We are adjusting, upgrading the service weapon / gift. Hey there, Willis, how you doing? Oh, looky here. The mineral's roots barnacles grow across the foundation. Okay. Use the ammo casings to demolish / weed whack. First director to receive and earn this item. You should feel honored. Handled. Handled? Yeah, I know you're handling me. You're my handler. You're telling me what to do. Anyways. Alright, so this is one question I've never gotten, or I've never figured out, is the nature of the mineral growths here. Because they seem like tendrils, but I don't know what causes them. What's their deal here? I don't get it. Actually, while we're in this area, let's go ahead and switch to the charge. Because then we can literally just do this and break everything. Yep, it's definitely a yin and yang situation here. And it's interesting. Oh, crap. The board only wants us to have one. So either you have the power to create or you have the power to destroy, not both. Dismantle, loosen the 4 locks to keys the MacGuffins, located in the fringe nowhere of the astral plane. Astral bleeding / collision has already spread, lost them. Do this and Nail will be prepared, glued, crisis averted. P.S. Bonus, hiss are present in the Foundation. Trespassing, snooping is forbidden. So they're giving us, the board's trying to give us an extra incentive to do this. One, to fix the nail, which we don't know what the nail is, what the nail does, what the relevance is, and why the board wants it to be fixed so bad. But it's saying, hey, by the way, there's hiss down there, so you can, like, take care of that problem while you're here. But don't go looking anywhere we don't want you to go. No snooping. You can come here to take care of the business we tell you to do, but you have no other business here. We will not tolerate you to go looking into things you shouldn't be seeing. Just like, okay, thank you, board. That's wonderful to hear. Yes, you did tell me about the gaming views. I think I pulled up the channel, but I'm not sure if I actually watched it. The gaming views. Okay, I pulled it up on my computer. I'll check it out later. Okay, where we got? Bye-bye! So yeah, so there is combat relevance for this. For this one, it's mostly just destroying platforms that enemies are standing on. And the only downside of these, which I think is one of the complaints that some players had, is you can't use these powers outside of the Foundation. Crap. Which definitely sucks. But then again, there's really no need to use them outside of the Foundation, just to be 100% honest. Come on, come on. Because level design in the other rooms were not made with need to destroy these or build platforms in mind. Hi there. And we're out.
Okay, let's review. This broken pillar is called the Nail. It was broken by something, and now the astral plane is bleeding into the Foundation, which will destroy the oldest house, the Bureau, and everyone inside. I need to find 4 locks, or keys, or whatever, to stop that from happening. But I'm the director. I've handled worse. This should be simple.
Ish. Yeah.
You with me?
Yep. Lars is there. Alright, before we do anything else, let's go and take a look at this cave painting over here. So we have a figure that looks like the former. We have the board. And then we have, again, people walking around worshipping the pyramid. That being said, why is this here? Now, whether this is supposed to be the actual former, which again would make no sense, because the former was only kicked out of the board. Oh, I can't say it was kicked out of the board recently, but it started linking objects recently. But again, this stuff was, according to radiocarbon dating, only went up in the 50s. So I think the form was kicked out after that, but anyways. Well, Draco, they keep referring to, throughout the course of this DLC, they refer to these crystals as, like, roots or plant tendrils, like just something related to a plant in some way, which roots at the end of the day are just used to create stability for the plant itself. But I just don't see what specifically.
Faith. Not sure she's ready.
I'm here, aren't I? I saved the Bureau once, and I'll do it again.
Hold on. I gotta see where I just got these. So we got rituals and becoming director. Give me a second. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I want to go first. Whoa, we got lots of spam. Hold on, I got it. I don't know, that spam came out of friggin' nowhere. That's crazy. Okay, perfect, yeah. I haven't seen spam like that in a while. Jesus. Alright, we're back. Lock/keys keep us socketed here. Trapped, hooked, hidden, and fed. They are old, young, an extra life. With the director's help, situation information is subject to change. You just check back in. The cube. Oh, the bots are all back. Great. Wait, did I miss one? I think I got them all. Yeah, I think I got all the bots right there. Okay, one more here.
I've served under 2 directors. 3 now, I suppose. Trench and I worked our way up together. We made it through the tough cases, the bad days, the casualties. He was the epitome of a good agent. Smart, decisive, selfless. And he picked up that damn gun. Becoming director is a formal process overseen by the board. Lots of ritual and mystery. After that, key staff provide detailed briefs on all classified matters, past and present. But with Faden, well, there's no protocol for field promotion. The girl's smart, has a good head on her shoulders. I'm trusting her to handle the hiss upstairs, while I hold them off here. All this shit with the nail, the board, I'm not sure she's ready. Besides, I work better alone.
The thing to keep in mind when listening to the Marshall hotlines is she's talking to herself. She's not talking to us. Okay. Actually, I think my thing is specifying to go this direction first. Not here. So let's run back and go to the cave entrance and then work our way through. But let's do some upgrades. What do we got here? Let's go ahead and finish up our shield because we will be using that quite a bit here. Yeah, she's on the red phone now, which is... frankly, it doesn't mean much. I know there's a lot of huge... the idea that to be on the hotline you have to be dead, but that's not necessarily true. Again, Darling's not dead. A certain person we haven't met yet, not dead. The board, not dead. How do we know that painting of the former wasn't made today? Who knows? It could have been made today, Fire Ascending. It absolutely could have. Because we don't know what was there before we got here and what was there after we got, since we got here. It's entirely possible that the cave paintings that Dr. Ash saw back in the day are completely different from the ones we saw now. Come on, guys. You're gonna be mine. You're my friend now. Red is Monosax's jacket. It is a very similar tone of red, isn't it? I do not know why. Did you retract that statement, Willis, or did this my spam filter take it out? I don't know. Astral Mimic. Astral mimics are physically distinguishable from astral copies, but considerably more dangerous due to the fact that they possess para-utilitarian abilities. The most notable ability witnessed is levitation. It is unknown how this astral entity gained its paranatural abilities. The relevant object of powers are currently bound to Director Faden, which indicates the objects are not responsible. However, objects of power are intrinsically linked to the board and the astral plane. Again, that's a supposition. A similar link between the objects and the mimics could also exist, or perhaps the board is able to dispense these abilities at their leisure, with no trial in the astral plane required. We kind of just saw them do that with its ability to crush these crystals and create them. The prevailing theory, however, is that the entities are simply replicating observed abilities performed by the Hiss, or even the director herself, thanks to prolonged exposure to our world caused by the astral bleed. They've already gone that direction. But why are they attacking us? I mean, if these are astral entities that listen to the board, why the hell are they trying to hit us? Will there be a new analysis and symbolism video at some point? Yes, Willis. Weirdly enough, I actually have 2 new control videos already made. They're already edited, but I am waiting to release them, and I will... I'm not going to say why, but they're already ready to go. On top of that, I have 3 additional control-related videos already made and already edited that are not regular lectures. I'm not going to say why they're not being released. But it's going to be fun when they are released. Wait, where did that guy go? What the hell? crap. Goodbye. Alright, we gotta take care of all these boys. Why? I don't need jukebox tokens anymore. What the hell is that? Trauma ammo refund? Yeah, I don't need that. I wonder if they made the sand red parallel to his red. From what I understand, the reason why they made it red was to visually distinguish the this region from the rest of the oldest house. It was really just an artistic design choice. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I guess that's one way to do it. Oh my god, I'm getting... Where? What is hitting me? There, shit. That's what I'm looking for, you fucking shit. What? Why? Okay. Okay, those things are levitating for some unknown reason. Alright, we have some more enemies here somewhere. There you are, you little shit. You mother. Where did he go? Where did he... Of course, you go hide near the freaking spike. This guy is literally just teleporting around. Just to be an ass. Astral spike. Boom and kaboom. Astral spikes are metastructural entities. What the hell does that mean, metastructural? Okay, I have a feeling we're going to be doing a lot of Googling for terminology here. Metastructural. Okay, word sense. A structure that describes another structure. A structure that has one or several properties similar to those of metamaterials. Okay, what the fuck is a metamaterial? Engineering physics, any material that attains electromagnetic properties from its structure rather than from its chemical composition, especially a material engineered to have features of a size less than that of a wavelength. I don't know what that means. That means nothing to me. Okay. I'm just going to write down what the hell is metastructural, because I need to research that and actually understand what it says. What's the difference with horror games? Because I don't know if I've asked. Personally, I grew up on Silent Hill, so I'm always going to default back to that, to be 100% honest, but... Well, no. I'm just trying to... I'm not saying astral spikes are electrical. I'm just reading off a few definitions, and one of them has to do with being able to retain electrical impulses. But that may not be the one they're referring to here. Anyways, so astral spikes are... I already read that. Their existence was first confirmed when a single spike traveled into our dimension through the mind of an astronaut. See report re Agent Gibson. The astral spikes seem to exist beyond our dimensional physical laws. They do not resemble any living creature or animate object, but we have encountered. They are even dissimilar to astral copies, despite the fact that they both originate from the astral plane. The spikes are immensely dangerous, emitting a wavelength that disrupts all organic and inorganic matter in their immediate vicinity, with catastrophic results. Discerning the nature of this wavelength has been difficult for obvious reasons, but the parakinesiology department continues to investigate. So it's living because its shape as opposed to its mind or organic reason. I don't know. Like, I frankly cannot answer that question because I have no flipping clue. I need to have a much better understanding of physics than I do right now, to be honest. But all that means is I need to take my time and do some research. Most of the time when I release any of the videos that deal with physics or psychology, I'm literally researching and learning about it as I'm writing the script. Like, I have a rough idea what something is, but as I do more research on it, because I don't want to... accidentally release stuff that is incorrect, and I probably still do, but I do my best to figure it out, but I read up a lot. Literally, as I'm writing the script for a video, I have like 15 tabs pulled up with different articles from freaking doctorates or researchers or science journals and stuff like that. But anyways. Okay, so this one is adventure accepted. Ka-ching. Dearest Mr. Talbot, my heartiest congratulations for achieving something that few others have. Consider my curiosity thoroughly yours. For who wouldn't be intrigued when the United States government claims to need an expert spelunker to explore the depths of a cave the likes of which no man has ever seen? A subterranean channel beneath the very heart of New York City is fascinating in and of itself. I have explored every cave system from Kentucky to Kathmandu, but a formation below America's own Big Apple is a welcome surprise. You are certainly building a grand expectations. Do not let me down. I've decided to come see this mystifying cave myself. My assistant will be in touch with the details of my arrival. As requested, I will avoid making any announcements to the press, but I cannot guarantee that my travels will slip past their notice. The world is always waiting for the word of Robert Ricardo's next grand endeavor. Such is the burden of a globe-trotting man of adventure, such as myself. Such is the way of adventure. Keep exploring. And this is the guy who ended up dying. So they hired a civilian to help navigate this place, and that civilian ended up getting killed at some point. This game right here, you can find it on. I'm playing on the Epic Game Store currently, but you can get it on Steam. You can get it on Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PS4, and PS5. But I'd recommend getting it on next-gen consoles because these don't run that well on PS4 and Xbox One. So at the very least, get it on a PS5 or an Xbox Series X or S. But again, I'm playing it on PC right now.
41 days since entry day, the name of our historic arrival to the oldest house. Morale is long dead, and its corpse is starting to smell. My research staff complain of a presence watching them. Many have suffered nervous fits. Some were evacuated. In cheerier news, I've made some new friends. I met them while exploring the deeper caves. They're hard to describe, but imagine avant-garde sculptures of humans. I call them the id. They aren't hostile. In fact, they're polite and quiet, which is more than I can say for my colleagues. Most id are shy, but a few are quite curious. While I sat taking notes, one came to look at my sketches. I offered him my pencil, but that spooked it. What are the id? Residents? Prisoners? They remind me of the golems from Kabbalistic texts, or a type of homunculi. I know I shouldn't, but I gave them names. There's Hercules, Adam, Lilith, Copernicus. Mabel is the bravest. They're a funny bunch.
And that is another big question right now about the id as well. I do, although, have a video all about the id, so I'm going to toss that up into the top right corner. For anyone who's watching the VODs of this, you can check it up right there. And a link out to my video all about them. Now, I find it very interesting that Dr. Ash mentions that they are very similar to golems from Kabbalistic texts. So, a golem, one, he refers to them as the id, which is a Freudian term of human psychology, but also golem are basically entities that are animated from the earth itself and obey the will of its creator. So if I would literally cause the soil, this red flakes, to turn into a humanoid figure, it would obey my will and my will only. Think of them like the original version of zombies. Because zombies were originally animated corpses from a shaman, and that the zombie would obey only the will of the shaman. At least, originally. Okay, so where we're at here. things have changed since then, though. Now, the id, in psychological terms, just refers to the base animalistic instinct. So it's the lizard part of the brain. The, oh, I'm hungry, I'm going to go get something to eat. Oh, I have the desire to take this territory. Anybody who gets in my way, I'm going to beat them back or kill them. Oh, look, I need to mate. So I'm going to find myself a sexual partner. It's that basic instinct is what the id is. Now, obviously, we don't all engage in our id mentality all the time, non-stop, because there'd be a lot of chaos ensuing if we ever did. Oh, crap. Hi there. So we have a certain thing called the superego, which is basically a sense of... It's basically the institution of morality, is a way of putting it. So the superego can be like a religious text, or governmental laws, or, again, you go talk to the church. It can be a set of morals. It can be really a lot of different things. And the role of the ego in this model is to regulate between what I want right now for my own id respect, and compare it against a sense of morality and how to engage in that id without being immoral, so to speak. And I'm not going to say much more than that. If you want to get more on the relationship between the golem and the Freudian id, go check out the video I mentioned just a little bit ago. Alright, before we do anything else, though, I do need to do a few things up here. I don't remember how many of these we have up here, though. So there is a, kind of like there was an invisible side quest for the furnace, where you get all the TVs. There's an invisible side quest up here. And it involves these blocks. Well, at least part of this involves these blocks. So let's do this real quick. Thanks, SG. Yeah, that one was a lot of fun. Like, I mean, literally just him and Dr. Ash using the term golem by itself was kind of what set me off on that level of inquiry, and they got my mind running in those directions. And I like that he named one of them Adam, considering in the Talmud, Adam from the Genesis was originally referred to as a golem. And only after God breathed through his nostrils did Adam become man and not a golem. Because once he gained, the breath was put into him, then he had a will of his own. He wasn't just an animated thing that God created. Alright, so basically what we're supposed to do in this little mini quest here is, you see in this grid system, you have some that have little paws and some that don't. So we have to put the block in one of these, in all the ones that happen to have paws on them. And yes, unless you had a guide, you would have no idea why the fuck we're doing this, or even think about doing this, because it's... No one would think to do this naturally, let's be honest. This is not something anyone in their right mind would just say, yeah, that seems like something I should be doing right now. Okay, I need 2 more. There we go. Hello. Okay, we gotta step you there. Drop it. And we gotta grab you. And whoever figured this out in the first place, you are a godsend, because this is just retarded. Okay, spam's back. Yay. Hold on. Yes, SG begone, bot! That's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah, this puzzle is just freaking weird. I mean, who would think of doing this? And when you do it, randomly this Neko statue just shows up. Pop. Now, what did that do? I'm not going to say. What I find interesting, though, which it's understandable why the designers did it this way, but in Crossfire X, when you're collecting all of the little plush animals in that game, Remedy uses the exact same animation. The little pop and little feathers, they use the same sound effect and the disappearing animation when you're getting those collectibles, as they do with these Neku statues. Oh my god. Okay, dog, you can come back in. Come back in. Actually, 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to go refill my water. I'll be right back. Alright, we are back. Back on there. These cats are freaking amazing. Yeah, and I think when I played through this the first time, I found naturally maybe half of the cats. And I had to use a guide to find the rest of them, because I'll be honest, there's no way I was finding that stuff by myself. Oh my god, how many of you bastards are there? Get out of here. Done. Perfect. Alright. I am doing good today, Draco. Thank you so very much. It's my first day back to work. I had Monday and Tuesday off because of a wedding I was at. So I obviously very ecstatic to be back to work and not on vacation, but whatever. Okay, now we're heading back up to this area. Boop. Do we have any more upgrades for the weapons? I don't remember. I think we got them all. I don't recall if we have all of them, though. And there we go. I think I literally just went the wrong direction. We're gonna have to circle back around. Sorry about that. I'm getting lost on myself. Yeah. I got completely lost. Because I believe literally... Yeah, I know where I'm going now. Shit, my bad. I knew it was one of the directions up in those upper floors, but it's not that one. Cave Bridge. Here. Alright. So this is right above where we just were, but we needed to go through this cave entrance. Here we go. Oh, great. Here we go. Boss time! Well, not boss, but you know what I mean. No more heals for you. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Where are they at? So we got one of those big boys out of here. Oh, wow. Ow, 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 ow. That could have went better. Oh my god, those things are little freaking explodey zits blowing up in our face. I don't appreciate it. Oh, my neck. So I'm thinking we're probably going to have to break the foundation up into two separate sections. Into two streams, I mean. I think that'll be fair. Alright, so now we have another...
etching, like the one I used to get in here.
Yep, so we got another monolith. And if this monolith is anything like the ones from 2001: A Space Odyssey, But this one, again, has an etching, but this time, something's beginning to grow out of it. Locke's Ancient Reason Abalone.
Is this the lock/key the board told me about?
So the Former's trying to reach out to us now. Lovely. Thank you, Former. Alright, so I'm going to be among everybody else who, when they came to this puzzle right here, it was a pain in the fucking ass because these things grow so fucking fast. But there is a much easier way to deal with this. You literally just use this. Done. Easy. Well done. Only 3 more tethers left.
Just doing my job.
That's why for these areas we're sticking to the charge, because we can just blow these things off in one go and not have to deal with the rushing around trying to do one thing after another and then failing it. You had to look up a guide for this. Yeah, it's like I didn't know about I didn't use the charge at the time, but I used the shatter, so I used the shotgun, and that helped quite a bit because each one's a single shot and it blows it off. But the charge makes this so much easier.
First one down. Director Faden's got this covered.
Not even joking. In my original footage, because I recorded my first playthrough, which is the assets I've been using for pretty much all of the videos I've made so far. And when I did this, I was literally in that room for like 15 minutes, just failing at life. Anyways. Do I have that one yet? Board, Marshall, no. Okay. Alright, that's the first one. Done. Used grip on those things. So did I, and that's why I was failing. Because you need, I think, like 3 shots of the grip to do it, and for some reason, they respawn faster than you can destroy them, which is a pain in the fucking backside. What is it, phone? Okay. Sorry, that was just notifying me that my mortgage statement is ready. And my drywall are confirmed. They will be here tomorrow morning. I'm so fucking happy. Literally, my one of my spare bedrooms has been empty for over a month trying to find a drywaller to work, and luckily I bumped into my cousin over the at the wedding, and he's like, "Oh, I got a guy that can be there," and he's like, "Yep, I'll be there tomorrow."
It's the director.
Love it. I already have the flooring ready to be installed, and once that's down, lay down the baseboards, repaint, and we're good to go. I'm so looking forward to having that room up and running again. Emily, what are you doing here? How did you even find this place? Shock. Shocked, I tell you.
Jesse, hey!
Hi.
Emily, how did she get down here?
Yep, and the nail is a lot bigger
Don't be
now
a
that we fixed it.
stranger.
I'm not a stranger, I'm right here.
What are you doing down here, Emily?
What do you mean? You called me down, remember?
I'm pretty sure I didn't.
No, that's right. You didn't. But then, I remember you needing me to come here. I mean, you even told me how to get in. Let's just chalk it up to synchronicity so we can get to work.
She takes everything in stride. The board called me down here to deal with the situation. The astral plane is
Colliding with our world, I know. Isn't it fascinating? I never even considered that the astral plane could be a physical volume expanding beyond its dimensional container. The bleed is localized to this area, but its growth rate seems steady. Given time, it will consume the entire Bureau, and possibly beyond.
That's what I'm here to stop. The board told me to fix the nail over there by dismantling 4 locks in the astral plane. Funny, I think it's put itself back together a bit.
So that could be due to the law of inverse exchange. For every associated component you remove, this nail reconstructs. Or possibly some variation of anti-sympathy. Don't worry, I'll look into it. Did you notice all the Bureau infrastructure? It looks like there was a research team stationed down here at some point. Do you think Darling knew about this?
I'd put money on it. That reminds me, have you seen Marshall? She contacted me over the hotline, but then I saw her walking around.
I haven't seen her. The hotline only connects to extraplanar entities. Or dead people. But Marshall's proved time and time again that she's a survivor.
That's exactly what I thought.
Anyway, I've been looking into the minerals growing down here. Have you noticed how they insist on maintaining a certain form? Maybe some sort of a state memory, or they consciously prefer a certain shape?
I think we're on a clock here, Emily. I need to stop the astral bleeding before it brings the oldest house down. See what you can find out from the nail in the meantime. And send out some rangers to look for Marshall. She may be in trouble.
Will do, Jesse. If you see anything interesting, remember to take detailed notes.
And here, this shows off the first random piece of information that I think may play a role in the sequel and Control 2 when we finally get that released. But, why is Emily down here? She seems to think that she remembers us telling her that she's needed down here. And that we gave her information on how to get here, but just like, no, we never talked about this. Why do you remember something that never happened? That being said, I think I know exactly what happened here. So way back before we got to this, before we even found the crossroads, this area for the first time. That sounds creepy. Freaking music over here. Jessie commented to herself, I could really use my head of research right now. Emily would have a field day down here. And then Polaris popped up on the screen briefly. Now remember, these HRAs are constantly emitting the Polaris resonance everywhere. So I'm curious if literally the Jessie can unconsciously communicate
If it isn't my favorite director.
to everybody wearing an HRA by use of this resonance, where she can like implant thoughts and instructions to anyone wearing it
We
through
don't know what's out there, so
the
please try to be
frequency
careful.
coming out of the HRAs. Jessie thinks, hey, I need Emily. Emily says, oh, Jessie needs me. Let's go there.
Director?
Yeah, she totally gives Raz bribes. It's crazy. It's horrible. Isn't it great? I love it. Okay. Chill
The
out,
Rangers
Emily.
have tapped into an old radio network they found around the Foundation. So if you need backup, just call them at one of the stations.
I mean, it's like, I don't know if I'd say Polaris asked Emily, but I think it's more like Jessie, like Polaris, through Jessie's conscious or unconscious will, influenced Emily into believing she is needed down here. Now, that can actually be misused if you think about it. Because if Jessie can unconsciously influence everybody in the Bureau, almost like a pseudo hive mind, that could be a bad thing depending on how it's used. Anyways, moving on. The Foundation.
How did the Hiss get into the Foundation?
Same way we did, I imagine. But you need to remember that the Hiss are the embodiment of persistence. Their nature seems to be one of force, to find every possible vulnerability and exploit it. Their only goal is consumption.
I'm sure there's plenty of goodies for them down here. The nail, for instance.
If the Hiss could corrupt the nail, I'm sure they would have by now. It must not interest them in its broken state. They could be distracted by the numerous unknown paranatural materials I'm sure are lying around. These are the roots of the oldest house. The Hiss will find plenty of ways to make trouble.
They're pretty good at that.
No, Draco Fox, get your mind away from there. We were not going to say that Jessie's going to think, I could really use a date right now, and then some random agent's like, oh, hi there! Like, what? No, that's not what I was talking about. Yeah, the Polaris is not a wingman, wingwoman, whatever it is. That's the type of stuff that freaking Reddit fan fiction comic book artist would do.
So you've never heard of the Foundation, huh?
I've never even seen the name referenced. Clearly it's highly classified, but for what reason? The problem with these kinds of closed-off hidden areas is that they were likely sealed for good reason. But now no one is left to tell us what that reason was.
Fair.
Any guesses why the Bureau would hide something like this?
I only know what I've observed. This place is spatially rigid, which means it doesn't shift like the rest of the oldest house. And before you ask why that is, I have to admit that I'm clueless. There's some signal interfering with my equipment, making it hard to get a clear reading. It's being emitted from the floor. Maybe I should have brought a jackhammer.
Look at that camera angle right there, by the way.
The astral plane is already taking chunks out of this place, Emily. Let's not add to it.
So that camera angle, like, I enjoy it because it makes it look like the board is watching them have this conversation and is, like, observing them, like, I thought I told you no snooping. Remember, the board told her no snooping while you're down here. And guess what Emily's doing? She's snooping.
So let me get this straight. The astral plane is bleeding into the Foundation.
Correct.
And that's happening because the nail is damaged.
I'd say it's a bit more than damaged, but yes, that is my understanding.
So what's the connection between the nail and the astral plane?
It's a good question. See, I always pictured objects of power as strings between our plane and the astral. If the nail has a similar relationship, then maybe it's more accurate to think of it like plumbing. Now that the nail is busted, sewage is gushing everywhere.
Not the prettiest metaphor. I should get back out there.
Agreed. The astral bleed won't stop itself.
And this brings us, this little talk about the nail right here, brings us to a conversation that, it's probably not my best work, but I'm going to go ahead and drop it up here anyways, is I do have a video all about the nail. 15043. You can check it up in the right corner. Cliff notes, though, essentially, is the nail, or the hook, as it's referred to, is a letter called named Vav in the Hebrew alphabet, and it does exactly what the nail does here. The Vav is something that binds two concepts together. So this nail binds the oldest house's foundation with the astral plane, as we can see up here. And with that connection, the nail damaged, therefore that connection is also
hello, Director.
in the process of being severed. And another topic I touch upon in that video is Yesod, which is the ninth sephira of the Tree of Life in the Judaic mysticism, and that is literally, Yesod is the foundation, hence the name of the DLC, and the foundation is the place where all of the manifest reality was built upon. Because you cannot build a house without strong foundation, strong concrete to build upon. So the universe could not be built without a strong foundation, the Yesod. Anyways, with that being said, move onwards! Okay, what would happen, Val, if Emily decided to go dark side? Remember, she wants to turn Blackrock into freaking, like military application. She'd be a scary antagonist if Emily decided to go dark side. Anyways, moving onwards. Shit!
I'm in the astral plane. Oh, this bleed is just getting worse and worse.
Hey there, Tao. How are you doing? We're just getting to the astral collision for the first time. Wee! Leap! Hip hop,
That's
hip
the
hop,
cave
anonymous.
stand. Looks like the astral bleed goes both ways.
Oh yeah, so parts of the foundation are going in here as well. Correspondence, dead letters, where everything. Dear Science, there is a person in my pet salamander. He has human eyes. Why doesn't anyone else see him? I think it's like werewolves, but with every animal. Where dogs, where cats, where otters, where butterflies, where everything. There are people inside, and they can't get out. They're stuck in the animal's body. Not all animals, but it can be any animal. My parents don't believe me. Maybe this has happened before. I thought you would know. Sincerely, John Lemaine. And don't ask why I did that. I don't know why I spoke that way. Moving onwards. So do we think that kid's literally just seeing his pet? It's like, oh, my pet's conscious. I mean, let's be honest. We look at our cat or we look at our dogs, and we can get a read on their emotional state. At least we perceive an emotional state from our animals by looking at them. Whether it's there or not. But anyways. I wonder if that kid just like, yeah, my salamander, I can see something behind his eyes. I'm pretty sure you can find a publication you can write to, Val, if you felt the need to. Boop, 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 and drop. Yeah, like it's possible there legitimately is a human soul that's
Kiss
trapped
in the
inside of
astral
it.
plane? That didn't go so well last
Or
time.
it could literally just be a kid being fanciful. Either way. I mean, in this setting, both options are entirely possible. I actually just want to look at this guy real quick. Because this is essentially the description that Dr. Ash gave for the id, even though these are called astral copies. So it's entirely possible that the thing that we call the id are just astral copies that leaked out. That they're one and the same. I mean, it's entirely possible, because they literally look exactly like it. By the way, when should psychological storytelling be present in the story? I'm trying really hard to research this. Are you talking about, like, psychological development for the characters as the story progresses? Or specifically having, like, the psychology being openly discussed in the story? I personally believe that all life has a spark of I am in it, but varying degrees, at the mercy of structures of the brain. Yes, obviously there's a form of a consciousness, but there's different tiers of consciousness. At least some philosophies have it that, like, the animal kingdom, for example, does have consciousness, but it's not to the same degree because we have the prefrontal cortex. Our brains are developed differently. However, I have seen a hypothesis that with certain species having active or being around people, humans, Homo sapiens, actively helps animals to become more conscious. And the evidence really just comes down to domestication of animals. Like, if you look at feral dogs, they're wolves. But if you look at domesticating them, they become house dogs like we know them as of right now. But there's also things like sharks will remember someone who saved... Like, I know a specific diver that literally saved a shark's life, and that shark still remembers her to this day. And it's perfectly fine with her. Same thing with eels and other things like that. It's just weird. Like, they'll go against their natural instincts in certain situations around people depending on what's going on. It's weird. And save. Howdy there, Gary. How you doing? Alright, a ceramic beckoning cat figurine, common luck object found in Japanese storefronts. Again, we found one of these by doing that little box puzzle. The following is a list of the items' observed altered effects: non-corporeality, affinity for specific human behaviors, and minor physical movements, waving its arm. Multiple simultaneous incarnations of this item have been observed. Whether these are independent altered items acted uniformly or replicated instances of altered item 48 is unknown. How the item originally arrived in the oldest house is unknown. It was first discovered sitting in the director's chair and was immediately contained in the panopticon cell. The next day, an agent noticed 2 additional figurines had appeared. Hours later, all 3 vanished. The item has been sighted throughout the Bureau, appearing while agents perform random tasks. It is theorized to fulfill a certain unknown criteria will encourage these items to appear. Yeah, pretty much both. I've been researching psychological studies related to my story. I'll talk to you later in Discord about it, and I'll bounce some ideas off you and give some opinions. Doing okay. My raid went well today. Hopefully, they'll be clearing the tier tomorrow for the next week. Oh, that's good. You've seen some domestic cats do stupid things. Well, cats are a thing of their own. Let's be 100% honest. They don't obey any of the fucking rules. Cats don't give a fuck. Hidden location. There we go. Food. Everyone responds to food. Yes. I mean, that's originally how we domesticated cats. Is we fed them, we gave them a safe place to live, and they killed the rats around our towns. So, hey, mutual benefit. But anyone who has ever had to house sit a cat where they're left alone for 3-4 days at a time, despite everyone saying cats really don't give a crap if you're around, if you leave them alone, they'll be very clingy. I was house sitting for a friend, and when I walked in the front door, it literally hopped onto my shirt, on my chest, and just hung there with its claws and would not leave, like, fall off. It literally just hung from my shirt for 20 minutes while I ran around and did a few house chores for him. So, Cats can be emotionally needy as well. Yeah, we need the bathroom cube too. You worked at a zoo for a while, and the tiger cub that she was at the time loved me and would tackle you on the ground for food and eat it on top of you. I didn't know you worked at a zoo. That's cool.
Reminder, the Bureau does not have windows. If you notice a window, immediately close your eyes and make your way to the nearest safe room. You are permitted to fashion a blindfold from an article of clothing. Any resulting lapse in dress code will be excused. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, well, we have no windows here. And it just reminds me, I wonder if that's supposed to be an inherent reference to, The Shining. Because they had that one situation, like, people have analyzed that film to death, and there's one scene where there's a window in a location where there is no exterior wall. They literally have a window showing the outside on a wall that's only between two interior walls, so there literally cannot be a window there, but it's there. So I'm curious if this whole thing, oh, there's no windows here, is supposed to be a reference to that little thing. Let's go to the right first. Yeah, cats definitely can have separation anxiety, which, for most people who don't own cats, who are under the impression that they're like, they don't fucking give a shit. No, they just pretend not to as much as possible. They're kind of like, weirdly enough, Shiba Inus is a breed of Japanese breed of dog that is very similar to cats in disposition. I had one living at my house for a while, and he would literally just flat out ignore you as long as you were in the room, but if you left the room, he would freak out and follow you around. So he's like, I don't need you, but I want you near me. He's just a weirdo. So if I ever needed to get him to come inside, he's like, I'm not going inside. I'm not listening to you. I'm a tough, independent dog here. I'm not going to listen to anything you say. All I had to do was just, okay, fine. You stay outside. I closed the door, and he'd freak out and run to the door going, hey, why'd you leave me? Why'd you leave me alone? Like, dude, you just told me you didn't want to see me, so I left you. Just little mind tricks I'd play on him. I've never been around huskies enough to learn their disposition. I just know they're super freaking, they have a lot of energy and need to burn through it. Your pit bull's the same? Gotcha. Come on, boy. Okay, that's not gonna work. Come on, get rid of him. Oh my god, how much damage do you take? Where? There you are. Got him. Is that it? We good? We're good. Where is it? Okay, let's pause real quick. There we go. That's one and number two. Now where is the other gold box? There we are. You fostered two pits, very sensitive. Oh no. Pits are just freaking love monkeys, I swear. I went to go visit a friend of mine out in Lake Havasu, Arizona. And he had 3 pits. Literally, I've never met them before, but I just came up, sat on the couch, and they literally just fucking dogpiled me and wouldn't let me move. They're like, nope, you're my best friend now. Give me all the attention. The cat wraps itself in your bed sheets. Oh, it's freaking adorable. I love animals. As you, like, even though during streams I'm always like playing jailkeeper and running around and letting them in and out all the time, and I'm like, God dang it, animals! I love them. I agree with that, Gary. I think that's the problem with the stigma around pits is they have bad owners, or they've had even if you have a good owner, but the dog had the baby had a previous owner that was not so good. Oh crap! 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 I'm about to die. It's just they suffer trauma like anybody else. Like from what I've read, pits were originally bred to be nanny dogs. They were intended to basically be used as nannies for your kids, so that if anything tried to harm your children, the pits would be like, "Hey, hey, get away! That's our human." Oh, ow, 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 ow. Is there any more? Yeah, we got one more. Bro. Okay, fine. You fall. And you get out of the way. You know what? I'm just gonna make you my friend. Perfect. Green. And boom, and boom. I don't know if you can... First of all, there's spelling issues here. I don't know if you can see this, but I don't know if I'm really here. I see a pen in my hand. I see myself, but it's all wrong. It's the wrong angle, the wrong me. And it's all green. Look out for the color green. Everything turns green when it's close. Don't let it go close. Don't let it in. But if you do, no matter what, you do not speak to it. Please, I need you safe, Peggy. I don't want you to end up here too. I don't know where I've gone. Remember this dead letter here. Because there is a reference to this later on in this. I think it's a document we find later on in the Foundation about the color green. So remember this one. The author here is the husband of a lady. We actually get a document from Peggy detailing her experience after finding her husband when this letter was written. And this one, I believe, is a legitimate AWE or altered item situation. Ow. You little friggin' jackass. Get off the cliff. This is King of the Mountain, and this is my mountain. See anything. I'm literally... Got it. There you are. Anybody else? Anybody else? Oh, you're literally right there. Yeah, you're somebody else. Hi there. Just freaking go away. Kaboom. Okay, I need to start deleting stuff. So... No! Oh, crap. What did I have there originally? I think it was a launch thing. Crap. I wish you can have mass deletions where you just go through, check a bunch of them, and then... Anyways. Save point. How far into the Foundation are we? Alright, so we got the first ability. And we've done one of the astral key / tethers. We're currently moving forward to the second tether. We have not done the encounter you get during this, which allows us to get the second ability. That's all I'm saying.
Entry day plus 86. There's been a change. Hercules and Mabel, it numbers 3 and 11, attacked my staff today. 2 fatalities. 3 if you count Mabel. She was always so kind. As a result, we are abandoning the Foundation. Northmore gave the order to transfer our resources to the upper floors. Now that my control points allow us to safely come and go from the New York streets, did I forget to include that fact in my previous logs? I've been so busy. Using the arrays I made. Control points have been established throughout the oldest house. Excuse me if I don't sound excited, it's just... A few months ago, I would have been overjoyed to leave the Foundation. But now I realize I've grown fond of it. There's something deep in the stone here, deeper than that watching presence. Something warm. I feel it needing me. I won't go. I'll refuse. Northmore won't be happy, but so be it. I'm starting to see him for what he is. An impotent storm. Father Shade in a cheap suit.
Dr. Ash is starting to believe that there's something here that is much, much older than the nail and much older than the pyramid. Also, the id have turned on the Bureau. For whatever reason. Who knows? Oh no. What do we have here, people? Are you ready? What the fuck is that? Your friend hated you when you showed him this one? Oh my god, there's a good boy, Sammy. There's a good Sammy boy. Oh my god, this one is just weird. I mean, weird even keeping in mind the kind of BS that these videos have. And look at this, this is recording... Wait. Recording 233. February 17th, 1996. And I can't read that one. This one has visual effects rather than practical effects, which is weird. This is the only video... Okay, Sam, 1 second. So this is the only episode that has actual visual effects, but also the music is different at the end, and they had it at the end of it rather than the start of it, which is odd. It happens to be here in the astral plane, or at least as part of the bleed, and it was never released. Remember, this is called the rejected episode, meaning that it never actually got sent out. Now, why did it get rejected? Yes, Matt, this is a perfect example of don't do LSD, kids. Also, another random thing about that. So, LSD after one use actually permanently rewrites your DNA. How it changes it, I don't even really remember. I haven't looked into it in a long time, but literally it rewrites your DNA in some strings of it permanently after only one use. So I wonder how many more episodes there were here. Honestly, I think that'd be funny as hell, as if the board didn't like that episode, so they literally just kidnapped it into the astral plane and said, yep, you don't get this one. Oh, gosh. Bro, can you, like, chill? Right in the gut. I shot you right in the kidney. Anyways, moving on. So that one time in college, basically. There we go. I'm assuming that's what happened or something. It's in the Black Pyramid now features. Yeah, like, it seems a reasonable assumption that the board is like, yeah, you can't have this one. Watch your footing! I'm hearing Liam Neeson's voice from the Batman Begins. Always watch your surroundings there. It just breaks the ice. Boop. And fly! You're just gonna be my friend right now. Oh, you jack! You saw a dick. Someone please know. I hope someone knows that reference. Please tell me someone watched the South Park movie back in the day. Bigger, longer, and uncut. Okay, so this is just me, but I recently just started getting recommended this, and I've been watching them like crazy. Is people reacting to South Park for the first time who has no idea what South Park is, and being absolutely horrified by it. There are so many people who are like, yeah, this was never aired on TV. They seriously were convinced that this was never allowed to air on TV, and it's something you had to purchase. I'm like, no, this is South Park. It's still on the air. It was originally on the air, and yes, it's perfectly fine. It just really amuses me when people are like, what the hell? What is this? How could they get away with putting this on television? There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Yes, especially younger people who, like, I don't know, born in the 2000s, who didn't grow up on it. They can't imagine that stuff being allowed these days. Came out when you were in high school. When did that show start? I don't even remember. Hold on. I'm curious. When was this? South Park Season 1 was in 1997. Holy crap. I was 7 years old when that came out. I was literally in 2nd grade when that TV show started. I never played the South Park games, but I do know of them. No wonder my sense of humor is so messed up, but whatever. Moving onwards. You were born that year? I hate to say it, but I honestly think that growing up on that show is probably the reason why basically nothing offends me. Because I've been so desensitized to offensive shit. Wait, they had a game on N64, Gary? I didn't know about. I only know about the new ones. Ren and Stimpy, oh my god. Ren and Stimpy was freaking great. Beavis and Butthead, freaking great. Especially the uncensored Ren and Stimpy stuff. And that was just on Nickelodeon, and no one thought anything about it. Oh my god, I love old cartoons. They could get away with basically anything. It was beautiful. Oh, you little piece of horse manure. Okay, you can just jump off the edge. That's fine. Oh, you fucking pendejo. Alright. Crap, I need some help. Where? I need some stuff. I'll get caught up in chat in a second. I am kind of... Or is that it? I think that's it. Your favorite shows growing up were either Gargoyles or Batman. Gargoyles is freaking awesome, dude. 100%. Your partner loves Ren and Stimpy. All fantastic. Yeah, it's great. Okay, what do we have here? Hold on. So this is a research. So we have one more document here somewhere. I promise I hit A to slow my fall, but I guess not. I swear I hit the freaking slow fall button, but whatever. Probably the stupidest death we've had so far. And honestly, we're only at 9 deaths for the whole game at this point. Which is way more than I thought I'd have, but whatever. Yeah, the board is literally just sitting up there like, what the fuck did you do, director? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, so it says it's near the control point, according to my guide. It says left side, top, near the control point. There it is. America Overnight Fatality. Tamagotchi is an anime, apparently. Really? Tamagotchi is an anime? That's freaking crazy. Anyways, an item resembling a fondue set was sent to America Overnight's, aka FBC Initiative 72-A, office studio accompanied by a threatening letter and cremated human remains. Longtime show producer Karen Harris was killed when she blank her blank into the item. Basically, she dipped her food or something into the fondue set. Mr. So-and-so, the program's host, was able to contain the item by blankety-blanketing it. And I realize by saying by blankety-blanketing it, that can lead the imagination to weird things, but it's not like that. Don't think that. The fondue set is undergoing evaluation at the FBC satellite facility, and that right there, satellite facility. This is another location the FBC controls. That is not the oldest house and is at a random location. We do not know what that is. That's going down in the unanswered questions right there. The package was traced back to a P.O. box belonging to Blessed Pictures Production Company. Blessed Pictures. Bless shows up again. The same company was involved in discovery of AIAD. According to the post office records, Blessed P.O. Box was opened in 1968 and paid through December 2029. Employees cannot recall anyone ever collecting mail from the P.O. Box. Case 13HQ612 has been reopened. Attempts to locate the physical address or staff of Blessed Pictures are ongoing. It should be noted that during the debriefing, Mr. Blank revealed he was in a romantic relationship with Miss Harris. He has since been placed on mandatory leave of absence for violating Bureau guidelines. Like, we haven't even got to the fondue set audio yet. But we'll hear that situation right there, word for word, from the perspective of the host. But, anyways. Okay. So I'm just checking my guide real quick. Invader Zim. Oh, dude. Invader Zim was bomb as hell. And that's why I love that section of Psychonauts 2 where they literally have Zim and Gur reunion with the archetype and Raz. It was flipping beautiful. Okay, I need to pay attention because this fight has killed me more than once. So I need to really stay on top of my toes. Shit. Cut your shenanigans, son! Wow, I'm failing at life. Okay, you can just fall down. That's fine. I'm not gonna argue. Oh my god, he came back! Get off! Get off the platform! Shh! He fell to his death and returned to fight some more. Oh my god, where is everything? Wow. Like I said, this fight is weirdly harder than it needs to be. Don't worry, I have a check mark on my notepad of all the deaths. I'm keeping track of it. Oh my god. Okay, let's try to do this again, but stay safe. I think on this one I want to switch over to my shatter. Yeah, I think right now I really want my shatter. Where's the floaty boy? There's the floaty boy, you shit! Oh my god! Get over there, get the health, get the health, get the health. Where are you? Is that it? Okay. Son of a bitch. Hold on, let me pause. There we go. I do not know why the bots keep coming back. That's really getting frustrating. Because, I mean, the old bots weren't even that bad. It was kind of like just one thing that popped up and said blah, 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 and that was it. Before we take care of this new monolith, which again shows the tree in a different stage of its lifespan, we have some other things to do right here. So this is a hidden location. It's a kitty! Kitty number 2 has been found and rescued. Being a mother's so hard, Val. Well, at least you're getting loads of practice right now. Alright, let's go in for round 2. Listen, hurry, meet. Okay, hold on. Because we have this again, let's go ahead and switch it back over to charge. You totally missed that one too? Yep. And we thought the biggest bot situation to be Skynet. Yeah. It's true. Skynet we thought would be the end of the world, but nope, it's these. I never watched Totally Spies, no, Draco. See, the thing is with Jessie's personality is, one, she spent her entire life believing the entire world is freaking batshit crazy. So by the time she gets undeniable proof that the world is in fact batshit crazy, it's no issue to her. She's like, yeah, I already knew it was like this.
Hello? Board, are you there?
Danger, director. Board, broken, deeper. Understand? No, I don't understand. Tool, other, new, forbidden. Board. Given, former, yours, necessary. Go.
Okay, what the hell is going on? Wait, I'm back here?
It wouldn't surprise me, Draco Fox, if it did. Tamagotchis don't turn off, though. Really? You can better not be here, director.
Wasn't my idea.
Yeah, that wasn't my
Blame
bad.
the eyeball.
The other tool weapon is forbidden. Former it adrift is trying to mislead you.
Former. Yeah, we've had our differences. But it is giving me something you won't.
I've seen that as like a negative commentary on Jessie's character, that she doesn't seem as weirded out by everything that's going on, but that's my counter argument is she already thinks everything's freaking crazy. It's actually the normal world that's weird to her. So this is just like, yeah, I knew it all along, so why should I be surprised? Now we get the second item. So I find it interesting that in order to destroy something, you use the right hand and put your weapon into it, but in order to create something, you use your left bare hand with no weapon in it. And it's kind of the idea where in a lot of cultural symbolism, the right hand is the one that takes and the left hand is the one that gives. And you can see that in a lot of symbolism. For example, if you look at the entity Kali, I believe the lower left hand is the one that's holding the boon. It's a bowl of rice. I was on the airplane to and from the wedding. I was sitting there reading Joseph Campbell's Here with a Thousand Faces, so I've been reading a lot of mythology lately. Do not be ignorant, thick. You are being reckless and disobedient.
I don't like you deciding what I can't have.
Oh, we're having a little trouble in paradise here, I see. And the thing I find interesting here is that the board has the power to give abilities without an object of power being needed for that transaction. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, the lower left hand, because Kali had 4 hands. One that's a do not fear sign. The other one is giving a bowl of rice. Then the third had a bloody sword, and the fourth had a severed head. And she's essentially supposed to represent the goddess archetype in its totality. Giver of boons, protection, but also the mama bear, I will cut your head off situation. You cannot control your staff. You're mismanaging the Bureau's self and narrative. Well, fuck you. So the board is really not happy with us that we decided to take the ability to create along with the ability to destroy. And now if only we actually got to use this ability more frequently in combat, because these are just one-hit KOs and I love them. Well, here's the thing, Tao, is the board, at least in my hypothesis, only has as much power as we allow them to have. Northmore fully went along with the board and did whatever they told them. So the board had power because, well, technically the board doesn't have power. Director Northmore had power, and whatever the board told him, Northmore did. So therefore, by extension, the board had power. With Trench, he really, for the most part, just didn't even listen to them. Like, he did his absolute best to not answer their calls or call them for advice. He tried to do everything on his own. So there really was nothing going on. With Jessie, she's kind of like, I do my own thing, fuck you. She'll take all their calls and get their advice, but never goes by it as if they're the arbiter of what's going on. Oh, there it is. Exactly. Screw you guys, I do what I want.
I'm getting pretty tired of being jerked around the astral plane. If you're listening, I want some answers.
Again, we're back in this area where there is no white, it's all gray. I don't know, Tao. We've never seen the board try to fire her. So it comes down to a force of will at that point. Like, we've just never been in this situation where we know exactly how that would go down. Hello, home, alone, long, visitor, happy. Tunnel open, grateful. So as of right now, the tunnel allowing the former to have access in and out of the astral plane in the oldest house is open, according to that little segment that we just got. Now, we can technically fight the former right here, but I'm not going to do it. I'd rather talk to the former. Yeah, same thing, Gary. I think the second Control 2 is going to deal with the board, the former, and para-criminal organizations. I think that's where, logically, the story should progress to. What do you guys think? Should I shoot it? You can literally fight the former here. I did not know this originally. But you can turn this, you can basically say, fuck you, have a third former fight, and then it will not come to your aid at the end of the game. But I like to talk to it. For story reasons.
Hi there. It was nice of you to give me something the board wouldn't. What are you getting out of it?
Void, nothing, egress. I don't get anything out of it.
So I'm just supposed to believe you're a particularly charitable, whatever you are?
Neither, both. I'm hungry. I'm not being charitable, but I'm hungry.
I mean, yeah, actually, I'd love a sandwich or something.
I'm talking about myself, not you, Jesse.
That's not what you meant, was it?
Right, Panini, former board, abalone.
Are you part of the board?
Formerly.
Or used to be?
Once. We split, the board blamed me for something.
Okay. So you split because the board blamed you for...
Inside Beyond the Nail, rescue the house, the sun, warning.
Gotta be easier to play charades. Do I need to rescue someone?
I don't know what I expected. Listen, this has been great, but I have to go. Thanks for your help, and, stay out of trouble.
House, listen, Nail. It's a leech. Burn it away. Go.
What was Former trying to tell me about the board? Should I trust either of them?
Personally, I would not. I would not trust either of them. Just because the board is seeming more antagonistic and the Former is seeming more of an ally does not mean you should trust either of them. I mean, the board was an ally during the main campaign, but that doesn't mean much. I mean, a shepherd technically can be an ally. Like, a farmer technically has care in their hearts for the animals under their care, because they want to keep them protected up to the point where they kill them themselves for the meat. So just because they're keeping you safe doesn't mean they're on your side. That's my exact hypothesis there, Gary. Okay, we're missing a hotline from Marshall right now, and I cannot remember where the friggin' hell it is. Beware the false shepherd. Right. Well, ironically enough, Draco Fox, that's the exact reason why I think it is absolutely brilliant that this nail, the symbol that binds the oldest house to the astral plane, is called the nail. Because again, we talked about earlier is that nail or hook is Vav, the 6th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And that letter is aligned with key 5, the Hierophant. And the Hierophant being basically that link between the divinity and the mundane humanity. Now, inverted Hierophant energy is essentially, I'm the mouthpiece that that it translates God's will to the people. But if it's inverted, that means I am intentionally translating God's will wrong. Because you believe that I speak the will of God. Therefore, you'll believe whatever I tell you. And I can abuse that. Now, that most likely was not at all intentional. That's just me reading into things, but it works out perfectly. And I love it. And I love it! Yeah, it's all red sand. It's technically iron flakes according to the game. But shit, where is this? Canyon Rim. Enter tunnel near Nail. Give me a second, because there's a hotline that I cannot find right now. There's a Marshall hotline somewhere. Canyon Rim. Okay, where's the map? Okay, Canyon Rim. Cave system. Which ones do we actually have? I might have wrote this down wrong is the problem. Becoming director in the Foundation. Yeah, as of right now, I am missing one. Okay, I'm currently playing through Persona 3, so yeah, no spoilers, but am I the only one who does not think that the head of the council, the guy who's working with us, has our best I think he's got some nefarious goals here. Because remember, he's the head of the board of the school, but but the school is also funded and owned by the Kirijo group. And the Kirijo group may have been somewhat responsible for Yukari's father's death. So I'm just like, I don't really trust this guy. He's given me no reason to distrust him, but it just... I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to say more past that, though, because I don't want any spoilers, so don't answer. Okay, let's go ahead and give ourselves some more health right now. I think it's the FES version. I'm basically just emulating it right now. Bottom Pringles, and where do you treat the crumbs? Where is this? It's pissing me off. Yeah, he does have pretty bad puns. So, crap. Where is this? Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I need to figure this out right now because it's gonna drive me freaking batshit crazy. Where is the Gaming Zones video?
All the tests I run on the nail keep coming back as nonsense, and a couple of my instruments have already broken.
All Foundation DLCs. Okay, so this what's the one we're looking for? End of the World.
There's a reason I packed a black rod-plated microscope.
It's not telling me. The cave beside the trailer? You mean this one right here? Yeah, I already went through that one. That's how we got into that area we just finished up at. And I did get a hotline from here, and my guide says this is where I get it, but I got a different one here. Because all I have written on my guide is Canyon Rim Enter Tunnel near the Nail, which is what I just did. But if I look at my full guide, the other one in this area is... hold on, where is this at? Marshall. Becoming Director, which says it's the Entry Cavern Fracture Downside Tunnel. So I have no idea. Anyways, I have no clue. So we've already got the first two of those balls taken care of, and we got the new ability, but we are going to actually end this stream off here and do the second two areas as well as the finish off this DLC in the next stream. And then next week we'll get going on the AWE DLC, which most likely will also take place over the course of 2 streams. I know this one's a little shorter than most, but it works out perfectly for the pacing. Anyways, guys, thank you all for hanging out. I will see you all on Friday, and we will get going from there. I don't know anything about this New Game Plus stuff. So, Jerkaflox, let me know if there are any requirements for getting the additional content. Do it in a non-spoiler way, though. Don't tell me, like, any details. But, like, with Persona 4, it's like, okay, make this decision at this conversation. Make sure to do all the Marie before December 10th or whatever it was. Like, just stuff like that. Just tell me the basics, but don't give me the details. Anyways, all, peace out. Love you all. See you on Friday. Later.